Speaking of snow, let's go back up to Minneapolis. Right now, Phil Jackson outside the Bulls locker room.
First half, but Scotty just got a head of steam up in his defense. I think the fact that he was playing such great defense keyed it for himself, and he went down and just crushed him. They sure fought back at the end. I don't know what they scored, 20 points in the last 3 minutes, but yeah, that's typical. They can get hot like that.
I know you called Jason Caffey in for a meeting he told us last week, and you told him that if he has a bad game, not to let it carry over into the next game, and sure enough, he didn't play great last night against Washington, but came back tonight.
Yeah, I think Jason understood what his job was tonight. You know, we told him that, you know, he had an opportunity to play and get ready for it. He was just, I thought, great in the first half, and then he carried it over, told him at the end of the first half, go out and do the same thing in the second half. He's able to do it for us. So much so, gave Dennis a little rest, and it was nice to see.
What do you mean, he knew what his job was tonight? What was his job?
Well, you know, he had a couple tough matchups. First of all, he had to play Gugliotta a little bit. I thought that was a little bit tight for him, and then he moved over to Garnett, and finally we ended up with Mitchell, who's a little bit of a three outside shooter that he had to do some things. But most of all, he had to rebound and run the court, and that's what he does well.
What did you guys do defensively on Gugliotta and Garnett and Marbury that didn't allow them to have the second half that they had in the first half?
Well, you know, Scotty does a great job on post players, and you know, having played Gugliotta so many times, you know, in our conference over the course of the years, he was very comfortable and volunteered to take him. Basically, we actually put Tony on the two guard then, and you know, he did a great job. Marbury just hot to start the game, and then, you know, he cooled off, and you know, we got a hold of him a little bit.
What was your angle of that Rodman incident with the photographer? Did you see that?
Well, you know, first of all, it was you know, one of those situations where guys are tumbling into the press, and you know, Dennis has had that confrontation before in the playoffs last year where there was an incident where he broke a camera by, you know, hitting it with a ball. And I don't know what happened there, but it looked like he kicked the guy. It looked like he kicked the guy in the knee, and the guy suddenly got, you know, falsetto. I don't know how it happened, that it was down at his knee, and it ended up in falsetto. But Dennis come back, and I said, Dennis, did you do that on purpose? And he said, you know, he tripped me up on the thing. He said, I kicked him right above the knee. And I said, well, that's what I saw, too. But, I mean, the referee said he was in a lot of pain, and he looked like he was in a lot of pain. And I hate to see that happen on the court.
Were you worried about Michael's defense on Marbury, considering he couldn't turn his neck?
No.
Did you feel like that his neck injury affected his game at all tonight?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought he wasn't moving quite as quickly, but you know, at the other end, he was, you know, he was feasting at the other end, and I knew that it was just a, you know, it was just a strut in the park kind of. They were both testing each other out. Marbury's having a hot hand, and after his first quarter, I thought he quieted him down.
Were you worried when Marbury has that hand?
I haven't seen him consistently shoot that well, and so we were concerned a little bit.
It looks like his neck seems to stiffen up, of course, when he's not playing. Are you worried about having a day off tomorrow? Like, is he going to practice tomorrow, giving him a day off, or maybe it'll stiffen up again tomorrow?
We usually take a day off if we go back-to-backs with the guys that play heavy minutes, so we'll probably have a day off in therapy for him.
You said last year the Timberwolves needed a big man. Is that still true?
I thought Brankovic played pretty well the second half. Luke did a good job the first half on him, but the second half I thought, you know, he might have outplayed Luke, and they look like they can play with Brankovic out there a little bit, and tonight was a pretty good night for him.
What do you think?
All right, let's get it back to our studios.